Good morning. This is a 5-minute daily yoga practice that is very similar to what I do myself every morning. I'm Paula from Happy Yoga Wales, and if you stick around to the end of this video, I'll share a link to a PDF where you can track your progress doing this every day for 30 days, and I guarantee you'll feel better physically, mentally, and emotionally if you do that. Okay, let's get started in a child's pose. So I've got a couple of blocks, you don't need those, but if you do have them, then they might come in handy a little bit later on. So bring the big toes together and then lengthen out of the lower back, sink the hips down, and if the ground's a little far away, pop your head on a block or a cushion here, and then just settle in, taking a few deep breaths here. If it's comfortable, inhaling through the nose, send the breath all the way down to the belly. Feel the belly and the low back expand, and then exhale this first one out of the mouth. And then continue breathing just at your own pace. Allowing the hips to melt down, the shoulders to sink away from the ears towards the ground. And just taking 2 more deep breaths here. Filling up even into the low back, the rib cage. And then on your next inhale, lifting the hips and coming into a tabletop position. So moving through some cat-cows here. Inhale, let the belly come down, chest come forwards, nice and broad through the collarbones. Exhale, draw the belly button in, winding through the spine, lift and separate the shoulder blades. And again, inhale, belly down into cow. And exhale, rounding through into cat. Just let the head and neck be heavy here. Taking 3 more at your own pace, moving with your own breath. Feel free to find a little bit of movement side to side as well if that feels good. So really taking this time to check in with your own body. And it's all about listening to what you need. Okay, I think that's 5. So from here, we're just going to lower down onto our bellies. So you might need to slide the knees back a little bit and lower all the way down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders and roll the shoulder blades back, the shoulders away from the ears. Press the hips and the tops of the feet into the ground. Inhale, peel the shoulders off the ground using the muscles in the upper back. Exhale, rolling back down and let the forehead tap down. And let's do 4 more of these. So inhaling up. And exhaling down. So no tension through the muscles in the face and the jaw. Really squeezing the elbows in towards the sides of the body. And this doesn't need to be a big movement at all. You don't need to lift very high. And there should be no pinching in the low back at all here. If there is, just don't come up quite so high. And then relaxing down. Pressing into the hands, lift yourself up back into our tabletop position. And again, spread the fingers wide, index fingers straight ahead. Take a breath in. As you exhale, round through the spine, find your cat pose, and then keep on lifting the hips, lift the knees, and find your downward facing dog. So press really firmly into the hands here, especially the fingertips and the palms of the hands. Arms are really long, and then lift the hips a little higher. You might want to bend the knees one at a time, but really lengthening here, or really focusing here on length in the spine. And then when you're ready, we're going to bring our right leg forward in between the hands. So stepping that leg through, and you can use your blocks here underneath your hands if that gives you a little bit more space. And then just let the hips sink forwards. So I find here that not going into my deepest version of this pose is a nice way to start. So just coming back a little bit, and again using the blocks, finding a little bit of space, allowing the body to open, and then maybe starting to sink down. And then if you're using blocks like me, you can go ahead and pop them down. Bring the hands back down to the ground. And then step back to our downward facing dog. And we're just here for the transition as we pick up our left foot and then step that between the hands. Again, getting it there however you like. And let your back knee come down. Bring in your blocks next to you if you've got them. And if you don't have blocks, you can use anything here. You can even use the wall for a little bit of support if you've got one near you like me. Find some space. Roll the shoulders back. And then just let the hips melt down. Just taking a couple more breaths. Maybe gently rocking side to side like I'm doing naturally. And then if you've got your blocks, placing them back down, wiggling that foot back round, and then coming back to our child's pose where we began. So bringing the knees out just as wide as is comfortable, sinking the hips back and walking the hands forwards and resting the forehead down. And just take a moment here, scan through the body, noticing any changes from when we first started this very short practice. And then thinking of how you want your day to go, maybe setting yourself an intention or even just a word to set you up for the day. Slowly walk the hands back in towards the hips. And then just come and sit any way that's comfortable for you. Closing our little practice all together, sitting nice and tall, roll the shoulders back. Bring the hands to the heart, take a big breath in. And exhale. Well, thank you so much for joining me. If you're doing this every day for 30 days, then please let me know in the comments below. And you can also join me on social media. Just search for Happy Yoga Wales and I'm on all of them. Have a lovely day, everybody, and I'll see you tomorrow.